Hi everyone and good morning for this beautiful Sunday. It is quite early in the morning, and if you have the impression that I'm looking tired, this is because I am. Our little turtle had the need to keep us awake half of the night because he felt to redecorate his aquarium. So it was a bit tough to get some sleep tonight. But yeah, here I am quite early in the morning and it's going to be a beautiful sunny day outside again. It's me sitting on the couch again. So guess what? It's going to become a vlog again. And this video request was from Doug Steets. So many thanks for requesting me to make this kind of video. And I hope the rest of you will also like the video. Doug requested me to give a show off of all my most favorite artworks that I did so far. I have quite many, I must confess. So I decided to make this video a two-part video. Part one will be about my realism, which is actually where I come from. So if you're new to my channel and have not seen all the other 150 videos yet, you have to watch them, of course. I came from a realism standpoint. So I am a realism painter for graphite oils, not so much acrylics. And this is where I came from. This is what my channel actually started like. The acrylic pouring just came step by step. In the beginning it was more like a relaxing in-between kind of artwork, which I did to unwind from realism, which is really detailed. And it became more and more interesting to me. So I switched over to the acrylic pouring more and more. And now I do actually both, which is, you can imagine, quite time consuming. So let's start with the very first video, and this will be about my realism paintings and drawings. I have looked through all the stuff that I still have here. I did make a couple of commissions which I don't have here anymore, but I just stick to the ones that I still have here. And let's get from the small ones to the bigger ones. As I've just recently learned that we have quite some space nerds around, here are some of my most favorite, well, not most favorite. Here are some of my favorite space themes that I did in pastels. And I don't really work that often in pastels, which are these ones. That's number one. And number two. Because last year I want to experiment a bit more in pastels, if I get a hang for them, if I like them. Well, it's still not my most favorite kind of medium because it's really dusty and but you can do really pretty things with it, and once you get a hang for it, it's getting okay. But yeah, so this was something I wanted to try, because this is the reason why they are small and tiny. I also made speed drawing videos about them here on my channel, so if you scroll way back, you can see them. Next one from 2015. I really like the reference photo from it, which I just found on the internet. And this is done in colored pencil. I really love it. I did this one in a train, which makes it even more amazing, I think. Yeah, I really love it. Next one, this one. This is done in oils. And I did him because he is a really nice guy. And I love the color of his eyes. Can you see this? It's cute. This little cutie here. This is, we call it Eisvogel. I don't really remember the English name. You probably might. And I really rarely do animals. And this was, I think, one of the very first birds that I did at all in my entire life. And it really turned out pretty. Normally I work a bit larger, so let's get to a somewhat larger sizes. And when it comes to the point that I rarely do animals, I did this one here as well, which I really loved the reference photo as well. It was from Pixabay, and yeah, did this in pastels as well. I'm really proud of this result. I also have the making of video on this channel here for this one. It was one of the very first and before videos. I just filmed this one with my iPhone when I did the drawing. So this is how the video actually all looks like. Another one that I did in pastels, which make me rethink my expression that I don't work in pastels so much. This one. It is one of the very first portrait drawings that I did in pastels. I think it was the second one that I ever did, because I always used the wrong paper for it. And if you have the wrong paper for pastels, this is not going to work. And this is pastel matte paper. For those of you who also do realism, this is one of my most favorite papers for pastels. Pastel matte or the Kansen Mi-Tint is also okay, but yeah, I really prefer this one. Now something for the moms and family out there, which will probably create an effect for you. One of my baby drawings. It's super cute, isn't it? It's a grey paper painted in charcoal and white charcoal, and yeah, it's just cute. Last year I also did some experiments with watercolors, which I always was kind of afraid for, because I did not do so much in watercolors. But after having seen so many videos of Laovaan, it's a German artist as well. If you do not know him, I will make a link to his channel here in the video description as well, which I really admire as an artist. And so I tried to do some watercolors, which is far away from his skills, very far, so we have to check him out. But I really liked the results, like this one as well. It really takes much more time for watercolors to get a hang for it than I expected. So it's really an entirely different medium than oil colors. If you work in watercolors, you will know what I mean. And last but not least, for this size, you probably have seen the video about it. It's this little guy. I just really love the expression on his face when I saw this photo first, and I had to draw it. I did draw this last year in our vacation, mostly on a train, and this was done in 3 hours and something. And I did not really film the result because I was on a train. And as this photo was so loved on Instagram and Facebook, I decided to redraw it and film it to have it for YouTube as well. And this was the second result, which was done in 2 hours only. It was only painted with charcoal and my fingers. Sounds crazy, does it? And yeah, this is the result from the second one. They look pretty similar, which of course was the goal. So if I put them here. And now just a couple really large scale ones. I need to go back a bit. Which is this dude here. And he's called Bruno Scaffidi, and it's a model from David Brett Model Management, where I have combined watercolor and charcoal, which had a really cool effect, I think. For those of you who know my channel longer, I did a couple of models from David Brett in the last years. I really love his photos and the style of his work, and I really converted a couple of his photos into drawings or paintings. So just in case you wondered about my background today, this is another project I'm currently working on, which is another photo from David displaying JP. This is the one that I'm painting currently, and it's a really large oil painting. So this is oils in 1.40 m height, so quite large one, and I'm going to continue this one after the videos today are done. And this thing over here is another abstract one, which is 1.90 m by 1.20 m, no 40, 1.40 m. So you can only see the half of it. It is really large. It's going to get more purple down there and a bit of black. It is a commission again, and I did not really film this one because most of it I had to do on my floor, which is a weird angle to film, and it's quite large scale to film, so it was not really something that would have looked pretty on a video. So this is the result. If anyone is really interested on how I made this one to make something similar for yourself, just let me know and I will show you in a smaller scale. Yeah, is what I currently do. This is also the reason why I only have about 1 video a week uploaded currently. So I started with 3 videos a week, then turned to 2 videos, and now it's actually 1 video. Because these thingies here are a bit more time consuming than just a regular small pouring. Oil painting, realism is much more time consuming than whatever artwork you can do in pouring. I have filmed this one and I'm going to film on with this one to make a tutorial out of it. It will of course take some time until this is finished, just to give you a rough impression about the editing part of the whole YouTube stuff. So if I make a video about 15-20 minutes, the editing time is about 2 hours, sometimes more. The last video that I did for Miriam, which was the awesome space scene, was creation time about 4 hours, I think, and editing time was 6 hours. So just to give you a small impression how work intense the entire editing stuff is. So this vlog kind of type is a bit less editing intense because I can just talk and do not have to do any voiceover. I will have to cut bits and pieces out as well because But anyways, let's continue. This was something I did 2016 when I was on vacation with Patrick on AIDA, which is a cruise line. And this was one of our waitresses. She was so cute and lovely and she asked me if I can make a drawing of her. And so I did. Most of our cruises do have some sea days, do you call this in English? So days where you're only crossing the seas and have actually nothing really to do. So I kept myself busy. This is something I really love from the bottom of my heart. It was 2014, so quite early in my artist career, if you like to say that. And the photo again was from David, and the first charcoal drawing that I ever did in that size. It actually looks way prettier in real life than it does here on camera. And something that I was experimenting with in 2014 again is this guy. And you might think, what a mess, what is it? And in case you have not figured out, it's a dude. So this is his head. This is his body, this is some kind of towel or something. Yeah, this is some kind of abstract thing as well. It takes some distance until you can recognize what it is. It's different. Last but not least, quite large ones. It was the first year that I came across David. And this is it. And it doesn't really fit into the frame. Give me a second. So, this is it. This is actually a print. So the original of this artwork and the next one that I'm going to show you is with David. So I sent them over to him. And I really loved the results so much that I decided to make a print of them for myself, which are hanging in our sleeping room ever since. And the next one is actually the same guy. So I was really proud of it and so I decided to have them as well. And again, this was just the very first in a long row of photos that I painted and drawn from David. Yeah, check his Facebook and Instagram and you will see what I know. Yeah, that's actually it. I do have so many more, but I do not want to bore you at all. So let's just stop here for the realism. If you want to see more of them or more videos like that where I talk about random artworks that I did and why I did them the way I did them, just let me know. You feel free to comment whatever you would like to see or you would like me to try to experiment with. Because this channel, as I always say, shall be about you. Of course it's about me because it's my channel and you see my face all the time now. But I want this of course to be interesting for you and I want to have content that you are interested in and that you like, and yeah, just let me know. Feedback, feedback is important. I think I wrap it up for this part of the video. I hope you liked it, and Doug, I hope I could meet your expectations for this video. I'm going to make the second video for my acrylic pouring most favorite hit list. Then I'm going to have breakfast, and then I will going to start with this guy. There is a couple more hours to spend, so I want to try to finish it as far as possible. And before we end, just in case you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I ask you to do so and click the bell icon if you do not want to miss any of my new coming videos. There is much more stuff to come in the future, of course. I have plenty of ideas. Subscribe. And other than that, I wish you a great day. Bye bye.